Tokyo will launch its first aircraft carrier since the end of World War II to accommodate a growing number of stealth fighters, long-range missiles and other equipment, adding to the Japan self-defense forces. The guidelines approved at a meeting of Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's cabinet call for refitting the Izumo helicopter carrier into a ship that can deploy expensive, US-made F-35B stealth fighters capable of short takeoffs and vertical landings. The work would be done over 5 years and the ship would carry 10 stealth fighters, while the refitting of a second helicopter carrier into a second aircraft carrier would follow. The Prime Minister's guidelines would replace the current defense plan halfway through its intended lifespan and underscore Mr. Abe's push to expand Japan's military role and capability to make it, as he puts it, a normal country. Defense officials say Japan needs better deterrence and increased missile defense and fighter capability as North Korea's missile and nuclear threats remains unchanged in the absence of concrete steps to dismantle them, and China's maritime activity has grown increasingly assertive. The new guidelines say Japan needs to be well prepared and to show it can withstand threats, noting the archipelago is prone to natural disasters and its coastline is dotted with vulnerable nuclear power plants. Japan has relatively little land on which to build runways long enough for conventional F-35s, and an aircraft carrier would be particularly useful in the Western Pacific, where Japan tries to defend remote islands, including those disputed with China, and to play a greater role as part of the US-Japan alliance. Japan plans to buy 147 F-35s, including 42 F-35Bs, over the next decade. These stem from the same class of fighters procured by the Royal Australian Air Force, RAF, labelled the most lethal acquisition in the Air Force's history. The new planes will include 18 short takeoff and vertical landing (STOVL) variants of the F-35 that planners want to deploy on Japanese islands along the edge of the East China Sea. The Navy's two large helicopter carriers, the Izumo and Kaga, will be modified for F-35B operations, the paper said. They will need reinforced decks to withstand the heat blast from F-35 engines and could be fitted with ramps to aid short takeoffs, two Defense Ministry officials said. Japan plans to spend 25.5 trillion yen, $315 billion, on military equipment over the next 5 years, 6.4% more than the previous 5-year plan. The step is a major shift in Japan's post-war naval defense, which has lacked aircraft carriers in part out of concerns that they may remind Japan's Asian neighbors of aggression by Japan's Imperial Navy. Critics say possession of an aircraft carrier would give Japan a strike capability in violation of Article 9 of its constitution, which explicitly outlaws the use of force to settle disputes. Japanese officials brushed off the criticism, saying the Izumo will be a multifunctional warship used as an aircraft carrier only when necessary for national defense.